What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. The American business model comes from slavery. Now, people are like, what? Listen, man. When you work for a company, all of these quote unquote fair wages and these business models, and why the upper people get paid off of the lower people's labor, all comes from slavery. The idea that if you work for a company that that quote unquote gave you a job, if you're doing something that is innovative and you create something, they own it, and they're the people to profit off of it. You're not a part. They're not partnering up with you on your brainchild or your idea. It's owned by them because quote unquote as your employer, they own you and your ideas. Comes from slavery. The premise that somebody pays you a wage that you probably feel like you're worth way more than that comes from slavery. Modern day employment is nothing different is basically modern day sharecropping if you look at it mathematically. People are not giving you enough to live and thrive. Only enough to make it from month to month, couple weeks to couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Where do you get that idea from? Slavery. Because if you earned enough to create your own time frame, to give you the time to innovate and create and build something of your own, then you wouldn't work for these people anymore. So because of that, they will not pay you more than a livable wage unless you're keeping the people on the plantation. That's the bourgeoisie proletariat type argument. I'm going to pay you higher to keep these people on this plantation. Keep them in line. That's the animosity of management, because it mimics an overseer. That's the tension between law enforcement and the regular citizen, because it's law enforcement is just a modern day overseer. That's where the hell it came from. Cops came from slave catchers who people didn't want to be slaves, so they got away. Well, you need to go chase him down and bring him back to justice of slavery. That's pretty much what the law was based on. Well, that's what the police are based upon. Protect and serve, law and order. Nobody arrested slave owners. Hate to break the news to you. Nobody's arresting these businessmen who are destroying your family's life and legacy by the detrimental policies that they put in play to make sure you never go anywhere in life. Nobody arrests these people who keep inflating the price of education to the point where school is useless. Because for one, you're not learning anything, and if you go to learn something, it's going to cost you so much. By the time that you graduate, you're going to owe the school tens of thousands of dollars, which will be double or triple that once you're paying off debt, because debt is the slavery now. Just that's why I said it's sharecropping 2.0 at this point. And then you're going to have to get a car to get to this job, which is going to cost you, and then you're going to be overpaying for that. And what do they call it? Then the planned obsolescence of the material will make sure by the time that you get through paying for that, you're going to need another one because it's going to break on your ass. And then you're going to need to buy a place to stay. Oh, another house, which is another loan. right? And so you spend your working life indebted to people who make sure that you trying to build a better life for yourself keeps you in indentured servitude. To the point where you better ask yourself a question. You really think there's going to be that there's a retirement age now? You really think these young kids who are, 5, 10, 12 years old, the ones that are going to college now, you really think they have a retirement age? You really believe that? They are indentured servants. And everybody's comfortable with it. Some people are living higher on the hog than others, so they don't mind. You got systems in place to keep you uneducated. In slavery, you weren't allowed to read. In the school system, you aren't allowed to learn. You aren't allowed to think. Critical thinking has become a thing for the few. And the brain drain is so real that I don't care where you're from. If you're a genius, everybody wants you. Even if you're in a poor neighborhood, you need to come bring that brain here. If you in a rich neighborhood, you need to bring that brain here. Now, the crazy part about that is this, fam. They're extracting your intelligence to make sure they keep the rest of the people that you know in poverty and servitude, because you can't have these geniuses out here with these regular people informing them that these higher up people who quote unquote owners are enslaving them. Because these quote unquote owners of society, they have no numbers. Very small group of people who can be overran very quickly. They're small, they're old, they're fat, they're out of shape. They're quote unquote thinkers, but they're really bitch-made pussies who probably got inherited wealth. So that's what it is. And everything that we're doing in this country, whether you like it or not, is a form of slavery. Seems like my battery is running low, so I'm going to end it right here. So tell me what you think. Get back at me another time. Peace.